Hey there, I'm Kevin Downey, and I run an agency called Kevin M. Downey, where we help companies with their recruiting, sales, and marketing efforts. You can visit our website at kevinmdowney.com. Okay, today's topic, what you should be looking for when hiring sales reps. And I'm specifically, in this case, kind of more referring to B2B, where you are looking for a sales rep that needs to be doing prospecting and building their customer base and things like that. But it could apply to everything. One of the things we see with companies way too often is that they are looking for a salesperson with industry experience. We hear this all of the time. Also, we will hear phrases like an existing book of business or a Rolodex, all of those kinds of things. And this is extraordinarily short-sighted when hiring for sales. Let me explain why. So if you think that it is necessary to go out and get somebody with industry experience, I want you to think about this a little bit, right? So why is that desired within companies so often? So if you're going to go out and hire somebody with industry experience that really has the ability to move the needle right away with their existing customer base, they are probably in a position they're very successful, and you are going to have to take them away from that company. So you're going to have to pay them more in guaranteed money, in salary and base, in order to move them from that current position. Almost guaranteed, right? So that's one challenge. Most companies that are looking for that don't think about or consider. That would be one thing. The other thing that you see as a challenge in this whole process is if someone is readily available that has experience in the industry, then why are they available, right? So in other words, what happened that they're no? Sure, you can have certain circumstances where they were, unfairly let go, or it was just a circumstance where they needed to move on. But it's not a good sign that they're all of a sudden immediately available and they left the industry that you're talking about, right? Like why? What is it that and now that they're looking for a job and let's say on job boards, why are they not able to just reach out to their handful of contacts and find a job? So that psychology in hiring just seems to be very backwards. The other thing that I see is with experienced sales reps is they don't want to do cold outreach anymore. If they've cut their teeth and built a territory or built a customer base in a business, in a company, they don't want to have to start over, right? So they're not going to go out and do the cold outreach. So then the question is, okay, with that current Rolodex or contacts that they have, that you think that they have, and that they say that they have, how many customers are they really going to bring to the table? Ideal situation, maybe 5, 10, 15? I mean, they're going to build their whole, customer base off that? Doesn't really make any sense. Very unlikely situation. What you should be looking for is an individual with the drive, determination, the personality, and also is a fit from a compensation standpoint. I think this is extraordinarily underrated when hiring for sales. So in other words, if you have a job seeker whose goal is to make $125,000 in base comp, and your salary offering is only 60 or 75, they may look great on paper, but you're going to turn around, you're going to offer them a position because they need a check, right, in most cases, and immediately. They want the check, but the minute they take the position, because the base isn't as high as what they're looking for, they're going to be out looking for another job while they're looking for you. So base compensation fit, to me, is extremely important and underrated when recruiting. So when we look at someone, we might say, okay, what do you need to make first year? At the end of the day, what do you have to make to pay your bills? Give me an honest answer to that question. Let me know what you need to make, because I want to know if I'm going to be able to get you there with base or very likely get you there in OTE. And if I can't, I don't really want to look at you as a candidate because I'm not going to be able to keep you anyway. Right? So I'm going to be looking at personality, drive, determination, what I think are the core essentials for them to do the cold outreach and the prospect, go after the prospects and build their customer base, combined with the fact that I know that they're fit from a comp standpoint. Very, very important in recruiting today. Industry experience, highly overrated. I think that there are some technical industries where, yes, some background or experience in the industry does have value. When we get into certain medical and industrial and those kinds of things. I'm not saying it doesn't ever make a difference, right? It certainly has some value. But it's almost everything, especially to small businesses when they're recruiting. And most of the reason why they want that is because they don't have a business development process to teach the rep. They want the rep to come in turnkey. They don't have to teach them anything. They don't have to train them anything, right? They want them to come in, have your book of business, have some contacts, get us some business. That's all we want to do. Right? And that's not a realistic situation to build a sales team. You're not going to be able to do that because in most cases, these small businesses can't afford to outcompete or outbid the current employer. So the only people they can go after are those that are unemployed, right? And there's a leverage problem there, right? Because the unemployed, they desperately need a check. So whether they're really a fit or not, from their point of view, they have the resume and a lot of these small businesses are attracted to the resume, the industry experience as if it's the gold, but it's not the gold. At the end of the day, they still got to prospect. They still got to make calls. And so many experienced reps don't want to do that, right? Especially as they get older. Take me, for example, I'm in my mid-50s. I don't want to sit there and do 100 calls a day. All right, I cut my teeth already. So a lot of times companies really don't think all of that through. And that's what I would tell you should be looking for. Look for that. Look for comp fit. Look for drive, personality, style, all that stuff, company fit, all those kinds of things. You can train them on almost anything in sales within companies. Okay, hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, reach out to us, kevinmdowney.com. Appreciate you being here today. Best of luck in business, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.